Mr. John Tomkies.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm just going by my knowledge of my uncle, and so
Into this mic.
This afternoon's speaker was born on August 27, 1971. He was born to Lerlene and Charles Tomkies, and he grew up in the small town of Point, California, which is part of the Los Angeles area. There he attended Fillmore Elementary School and Charles McConnell Middle School. And for his high school education, he attended John F. Kennedy High School in the nearby Granada Hills area. My uncle knows, he's known struggles. He struggled through his first year of college with my grandmommy being sick. And when my grandmommy finally passed, he made a promise at her funeral that he would graduate college. And he graduated college in 1995 from California University with a Bachelor's of Science in Recreation.
Amen.
My uncle's worked a variety of jobs, from being a public enforcement, parking enforcement officer, to owning his own hot dog cart.
Yeah.
In 2005, he married his lovely wife, Nicole Tomkies. They were celebrating 10 years of marriage, this summer. Shortly after they moved to the state of Arizona, which personally broke my heart because my uncle is a very important man in my life. I don't have many close uncles, and my uncle is someone I always look up to. He's been a mentor to me. He's been one of my guardians. He's been a very close friend. My uncle is a man of many talents. He's a very avid sports fan. And he could probably tell you what's going on with the Chiefs better than you can. Or the Warriors. He's also quite the comedian. He's always been able to make everyone smile and laugh. And I really value that, especially in my life. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. John Tomkies. All right. Thank you. Hey!
Hey. Howdy.
All right. Howdy. Now it's 2015, Mack and Macie. Give it up. Good afternoon. First, I want to give honor to God, for He is so good.
All the time. All right. Yes, he is.
I want to thank the reunion chairpersons, Charles and Adrian, as well as all of their members of the planning committee who have done an incredible job of hosting this here reunion. Having chaired the 2009 Arizona reunion, I know how much effort and all that it goes into planning this. So could everyone please stand and give a round of applause for our committee. I also want to thank the committee for extending me the invitation to serve as speakers for this here banquet, or shindig.
All right. Yeah.
I want to know that you all know that this is a major, major honor for me to stand before you for this
Right.
speech. We have a dynamic, awesome family, and a lot of talent. and for little old me to be selected. I am truly honored. Thank you all for that. Originally, I didn't think I would be able to make it for this year reunion. UCLA is hosting the 2015 World Games for the Special Olympics, and I was believing I would have to be there because, you know, we have a lot of traffic control needs and things like that. So I had spoken to my manager about the reunion several months ago, and he was like, well, you know, it's a little far out. We don't have all of the logistics for the Olympics, so we have to kind of play it by ear. And so when Kashanda had called me and requested that, you know, that they wanted me to be the speaker, I went back to my manager a couple months later and told him, this is a huge honor, and I can't miss this. And so he pulled some strings and allowed for me to be here. So, McConnell name and Travis. I want to thank Aaron for some kind words. I didn't realize that I had that much influence for him. Either that or he trying to shake me down for some money. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Nicole. Love of my life. 10 years she's put up with me, and let's keep it going. Originally, I didn't think that I'd do this here, write this speech or whatever else. So I thought I'd have DJ write it for me, because he's quite the writer. But y'all saw right through that there, be like, please, John don't even know words like that. So I had to think back. It's been a long time since I finished college. I don't even know if I can even say a complete sentence without messing up words or whatever else. So I'm no Barack or anything like that there, but I'll see what I can do. So I started hunting down and figuring out,
That's all right.
what can I say, what can I do?
Just have a swagger.
Originally, I thought that Jamaica and Janice would be here. So it's kind of cool, I guess, that the teacher, the principal isn't here. I'm sure I'm going to butcher the English command and language and everything else. So, yeah, I did a little plagiarism, so I'm going to let you know that. All right, as you all know, that the reunion theme is the legacy continues. And when I thought about the word legacy, one of the first things that came to my mind, oddly enough, is the Subaru legacy. And my parents had a blue Subaru GL, and my dad beat that car up. He would not do any maintenance whatsoever. Oil changes, wasn't no 3,000 miles, 15,000 miles. And so that car took a lick and it kept on ticking. So I figured if the GL10 can do that there, I know the legacy must be one heck of a car. So Webster Dictionary defines legacy as something transmitted by or received from an ancestor or predecessor or from the past. Synonyms include bequest or birthright, heritage, inheritance, patrimony, heirloom, gift, offering, present.
All right.
While it's easy to point out the fact that the McConnell family has over 400 acres of land in Louisiana, thanks to the efforts of my great-grandparents, Robert and Addie, our legacy goes well beyond that. Robert and Addie blessed us with the gift of Grandpa Mack, who we know married Grandma Macie. And as it was stated earlier, there were 14 children born to this union. We also have Anita Mae from Grandpa's first marriage. And through the years, in Pearl, as well as in Nathan today, and the brothers and sisters through the years have shared stories of their journey from Louisiana to Kansas, and for some, the journey even extended to California. I never got the opportunity to meet Grandma and Grandpa. However, by witnessing my mother, uncles and aunts, I know they must have been awesome people. Hearing stories about Grandpa plowing the fields had a direct influence on me because I had the opportunity to work with Uncle Cleo.
All right.
Part of the story that Aaron did not mention is me going to school. Yes, I did promise my mother that not only would I go to school and finish school, but it was an arrangement that both my mom and Uncle Cleo denies, but what I think happened. The reunion was going to be held in Kansas. And during that time, my mother and I, our relationship was lukewarm at best. And so her and the girls was going to travel by train to the reunion, but that wasn't the trip I was trying to make. So the arrangement was made that I would travel with Uncle Cleo and Eugene by car. And just before we were going to leave, one of the Lehman brothers had passed away, so Uncle Cleo wanted to attend that funeral service. So Eugene and I flew into Dallas, and he would come through after the services, pick us up, and we'll drive on into Louisiana. And so, because a plane ticket was necessary for that there, it was determined that I would work off the debt as opposed to, hey Dad, I'm just going to take care of the good. And so, yes, we was going to work a series of days with him, and within minutes, I was, ooh, this is the real world, I don't have nothing to do with this. Man, that back-breaking work and stuff, so I think I lasted about 5 days. Hey, a little bit of money too. It wasn't just all, paying off the debt. He saved me a little change, and so I thank Uncle Cleo for that and for letting me know that education would be my ticket. When I hear how sweet and nurturing Grandma was, that too had a direct influence on me. As we know, my mom got sick and everything, and while she was fighting cancer, Aunt Pearl, bless her heart, along with all the other brothers and sisters came down. But I really feel indebted, and I want to thank Aunt Pearl for, also not only Aunt Pearl, but I want to thank her children for allowing her to leave to come and care for me, myself and my sisters and my mother throughout her time of need. And I just want to thank all of the Aunt Pearl crew for allowing that to happen. And that still registers deep in my heart. I love you all for that. While Mom was sick, Aunt Dura came down and spent some time with her. And I had the fortune, maybe for Aunt Dura, but the misfortune, of picking her up. And my first vehicle was a 1976 Buick Regal. And I picked Aunt Dura up. Still trying to figure out and feel out the car, and it stopped on us a couple of times. But Aunt Dura was very patient. She was like, and it just happened that I needed to get a module replaced in it. So, Aunt Dura, I want to apologize to you, but also thank you for exercising faith. My understanding of my grandparents they were believers of God and were deeply rooted in the Word. And that belief was passed down to their children as evidenced by all of the deacons, choir members, church officers, including Uncle Mack, of course, as pastor. And so we definitely have a God-fearing family. And Grandma and Grandpa began that legacy, but I'm sure it started before them, but they definitely passed that down to us. Grandma and Grandpa must have had a deep personal friendship as well. The unity and loyalty between my uncles and aunts is a thing of beauty and something to behold. I'm not afraid to admit that I am a little envious of their closeness. They are each other's keepers. They are present for and support each other's accomplishments, achievements, and milestones. Whenever one is down, they come to that person's aid. While they may not always agree on something, I have never in my life witnessed a heated exchange between any of them. You all are great examples of what a family should be, what siblings should be. You hear a lot about sibling rivalry and things like that, but you all are close, and through the years I just just try to utilize and embrace those same things. Obviously, like I said, at a reunion where I didn't want to travel with my sisters and things, but through the years, we have really gotten tight. And that's because of the example that was led by my uncles and aunts. The McConnell legacy has continued in many ways. The name carries a lot of influence in churches, in the communities, and throughout the U.S. We have ministers, educators, healthcare professionals, lawyers, managers, musicians, and even have a professional athlete. I don't know if those of you are aware, but Chop's daughter, Sasha, plays professional volleyball. I believe she was in Spain this past year. Though the legacy is continuing, as we obviously see a lot of the little ones and things like that there. We also have some work to do if we want this legacy to truly continue. We have a great turnout here at the reunion.
Yeah.
But we have to also confess that we're not as connected as we need to be. And I'm not talking about just social media and things like that. We do need to come together a little bit more often. We can't do it just funeral times and things like that. Obviously we lost Mitch a couple of years ago. Recently, cousin Betty, and Shirley's baby, I'm sorry. And so, we definitely need to adhere to. We don't know the time or hour. We need to make sure that we take advantage of all opportunities to get together.
Amen.
We're living in difficult periods in time, especially as African Americans, young men in particular. The well-documented events surrounding the police, as well as the tragedy in Charleston, South Carolina, serves as a reminder that we must not take family for granted. Can't do that. Yesterday, my wife, she talked about the medical aspects that's involved with the African American community and the Congress. So, we want to make sure we do all the right things so that we can continue the legacy. We have a responsibility to one another. We have to be committed to each other, like our uncles and aunts are. Our family reunions cannot continue to be optional. To my cousins, especially my age group and a little bit younger, we must do better in our attendance for the reunions. And definitely, we have to support our reunion committees who graciously take time out of their personal lives to identify venues that can accommodate the family. Because we do have a lot of needs and things like that. We're growing, we're very large, and the committees, they work really hard. They take time away from the individual families, things that they may want to work on and things like that. It's a selfless position, and we have to make sure that we respect all the things that they do to have us come together like this here. And we definitely have to support them, be in attendance. I know the finances and things like that can be challenging and things, but family is an investment.
Amen.
And it definitely will pay on and on and on and on. It's not like a car or something that's going to depreciate immediately. It's a treasure. And we must treat it as such. Excuse me.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm only laughing and smiling and getting Lonnie Keith over here putting all kind of pressures on me. Yeah, can't wait for this here part here. In the program. I was like, hey. I was like, what, you planning on being asleep or gone by that time? We might be leave, but now we gotta stay. I'm living up to his time. But no, I just, in all seriously, things like that, I definitely want to thank again my uncles and aunts. You know, I keep harking back because, like Aaron said, I had a lot of challenges and things. A lot of it I don't display and things like that. Uncle Phil and Aunt Maddie, I want to also just thank the two of you, because after Mommy passed away and stuff, y'all just were so good to me. Kept an eye out, looking out for me when I bought my home. Uncle Phil and Aunt Maddie was wanting to do something special, and so Uncle Phil originally was, I'm sure you're gonna need some window coverings up there at the house. And I said, well, actually, I picked up some things at Home Depot. And so Aunt Maddie was like, man, I come up with something. So she took the shot. And she bought me my first couch and love seat.
Wow.
Just through the years, and even now, they call and check on me and make sure that I'm doing all right. And just thank you both. And when you left when you left California to go to Louisiana, a lot of me went with you. But thank you, and Nurse Nate, Uncle Calvin, and you know, I'm not trying to just identify one or two, but the two of you, very instrumental. Uncle Calvin, I remember shortly after Mommy passed, you came out, and you took part of Charletta and I to Angelina's Soul Food Kitchen for lunch, and that was a great time. And I thank you for that there. Now, as I get ready to close, I do want to leave with a question. What sort of heritage are you going to leave or plan to leave with your children? Thank you. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Reunion Committee. Thank you, McConnell family. I love you all.
We
Take
love
care.
you too, John.